This is a compost bucket that you could have on a little balcony. I used this bucket successfully for about 4 or 5 months and it works really well. To do it, you take two buckets, two 5-gallon buckets, and the bottom bucket is just to catch drips. And the top bucket is where all the action takes place. And if I tilt this, you can see there is some compost tea in the bottom bucket. So you do want to get that out every now and then and put that in your garden. To prepare the buckets, all you need to do is take the top bucket and poke it full of holes. And I used an ice pick for this. Now I don't think it lets in quite as much air as you could use in a compost pile. Maybe it would be a good idea to have a few around the top, but I liked that it was, the holes were little enough that flies couldn't go in. The only kind of fly that would go in is a fruit fly, so you had those tiny little maggots if it got too fruity, too garbagey, but generally it was free of any big bugs. And to work with the compost, I got 2 spoons, and here is the compost, and now I'm just going to stir it. And I don't have quite enough browns in the compost, but it is good and hot. I can feel the heat pouring out of it. And on the bottom of this top bucket I drilled holes, and those I did use a 1/4-inch bit, and I drilled a lot of holes so it does drain. And if it does rain in the bucket, what I do is I will spread it out a little bit like this and put it in the hot sun and let it dry out, and that really helps. This, as you can see, is a whole lot of fruit and vegetables, and it probably could use a little bit more browns than it's been getting. So that's what I would be concerned about. The one thing you want to be sure of is to use enough brown material. Have a bag, a nice bag of either dirt or leaves, that kind of thing. Actually, these little sticks are bits of a palm branch that I chopped up. Make sure you have plenty of that kind of stuff so that every time you throw in your table scraps, and you're only going to use vegetable scraps, nothing else. Vegetable scraps, and I brought some tea bags here because I wanted to show I put all the tea bags in. I usually tear them in half. And coffee filters, all the coffee grounds, coffee filters, and also eggshells are very good for this. But other than that, you only want to put vegetable matter in, and just fresh vegetables that you've prepared, like rotten tomatoes or the leaves out of the cabbage or lettuce that you're not using, or potato peelings, anything like that. But steer clear of prepared food that has a lot of that would have grease in it, or milk or things like that, because you don't want to attract vermin. Anyway, that's my bucket, and where I am now in Haiti, it makes dirt in about 2 months. But in the north, I would guess in a couple months you could have a nice bucket of dirt from that.